Hello everyone. So today we are going to see the heaps question, the one that says merge k sorted arrays. So let's just get into the problem statement first. The problem statement says that you'd be given a number k and then you'd be given a vector of vector array which would have the k number of arrays and each of those array would be sorted in themselves. So let's say the given value of k is 3 and we have been given 1, 2 and 3 arrays and each of these arrays are sorted in themselves. But if you append all the elements of all the arrays, you won't get an array that is sorted, right? Because they're just individually sorted. Individually, this part would be sorted, then this part would be sorted, then this part would be sorted. But the entire array would not be sorted. Hope you get that? Right. So, and then you have to return a single array, but the single array, and then you will just tell me that, hey, let's just append all the elements one after the another from all the arrays and return it. But no, you have to return a single sorted array, right? Great. So let's just go with approach one. The approach one is simple. Take all elements, append them one after the another, append them one after the another in an array, sort them, and then return the array. Simple, right? You don't have to exercise your brain muscles more. Just simple. Very, very naive, very brute approach that goes by time complexity of O n log n, where n is your total elements. Okay. Let's suppose your array 1 had 3 elements, array 2 had 3 elements, array 3 had 4 elements. So n is here 10, right? Because n is the additional sum of all the array elements. Then comes your space complexity. The space complexity in this case is O of n. Some would say the space complexity is none, as in we're doing this using no auxiliary space. That makes sense. Even I think we're doing this approach in using no auxiliary space, because this is the space complexity. This is for the array that we have to return. Now, as mentioned, you have to return an array, single sorted array. So if I have to return an array, I don't count that in my logic's in my logic space complexity, right? So this could be talked on. This could be taken as O of n for the array that we have to return, and this could be taken as none, because I'm not using anything apart from the array that I have to return. Let's come to the next approach then. Now, if you think about this approach that you've already implemented, this approach was not making use of the word that I have k sorted arrays. Had I been given k arrays and somebody would have asked me to return a single array that is sorted in itself, I would have used the same approach, right? Because I'm not making use of the part that all my k arrays are sorted in themselves, right? I've not used that approach anywhere. As per me, it was you put in all the elements, sort them off, return the array. But where did it use the point that I have the arrays that are individually sorted, right? I did not use this. So this approach that we're going to use, going to implement using heaps, I'm going to use the part that all my arrays are individually sorted. Let's see. So this is I have been given array 1, array 2, and then array 3, right? Let's see, we have 1, 3, 5, 7. We have 2, 4, 6, 8. We have 0, 9, 10, 11. And then I'm adding in 12 here, though it was not given in the problem statement. I'm adding in just because you don't leave this question under the assumption that all the arrays have to contain the same number of elements, right? So here you see we have 4 elements, again 4 elements, and here we have 5 elements, right? So there could be the size of the arrays could differ, could be same, but could differ as well. So now I say I have a thing, you see all the first elements. Now, if I have to return a vector, let's say answer vector, all the elements here are going to be sorted. But there is one point that the first element of this sorted array is going to be the first element of either of the arrays from the given K array, right? Either the first element is going to be 1 or 2 or 0. It is not at all possible that some arrays, second or the beyond elements, third, fourth, fifth, could be the first element of this answer array, right? It is not possible. In any case, it is not possible. So that means if I have to check for one position, at most, how many elements I have to see? I have to see at most k elements. Does that make sense? For this position, the competing values at most, at max can be only k, right? So I take in a heap and I put inside the first elements of all the given arrays, right? Here, please keep in mind, you have to give a check. Check that any array I should not be empty. You should not be given, suppose, let's say the array 4 was this. And then when you index its first element, it's going to give you error. Got it? Rest, okay. So this is my heap. Now I want the minimum of the element to come because I care for the minimum element. Out of even these k elements, I want the minimum element to come first so that I can add it to my answer array. How do I get the minimum? If I pop out the minimum, which heap lets me pop in the minimum element first? Like which heap gives me the minimum element at its top? It's the min heap. So I'm using min heap here, right? How am I going to approach this question? Let's just see. I'll use green. Okay. So I pop out 0. I put in 0 here. Now, which element do I have to add into this? I will add 9. Now, why 9 and why not 4? Why not 3? While these were also the second elements. Because if 2 is already there in the heap, 4 can never be the answer. Do you get this? If 2 is already there in the heap, 4 can never be the answer. And same, if 1 is already there in the heap, 3 can never be the answer. After 1 is popped out of the heap, then only I can have 3 coming in into my answer vector. So after I pop in 0, I get in 9. Then I pop out 1. What do I get inside the heap? I bring in 3. Then I pop out 2. What do I bring inside the heap? 4. Then I pop out 3. What do I get inside the heap? 5. After I pop out 4. What do I get inside the heap? 6. Then I pop out 5. What do I get inside the heap? 7. Then I pop out 6. What do I get inside the heap? 8. Then I pop out 7. What do I get inside the heap? Now I see that 7 was my last element. Array 1 dot size is equal to the index that I am on. If it is 1 based and if it is 0 based, then this index is 3. And 3 plus 1 is not 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. 4 is what? Size of array 1. So I cannot proceed further. There is no element after the element that I've just popped out of the heap that belongs to my array, right? So then I'll do nothing. I'll go ahead and I'll pop out 8. Now there is no element beyond 8. So I will do nothing. I will pop out next element, that is 9. After I pop out now 9, what do I get inside the heap? I get 10. What do I do next? Pop out the element. If I pop out 10, what do I get inside the heap? 11. After I pop out 11, what do I get inside the heap? I get 12. After I pop out 12, what do I get inside the heap? I get nothing. I hope this makes sense, right? So now let's just quickly code this up. Okay. At first, let's see. What do I have to return? I have to return a vector of integers, right? And let me just name my function as merge k sorted. You can name it anything. All I want to say to you is please name your functions, please name your variables in an appropriate manner. do give relatable names to them so that you can explain your codes and you can write an efficient and a very understandable code, because this is though a hidden thing, but you have points for these in your interviews, in your exams. Okay, write a cleaner code, because at the end of the day everybody knows the logic, or everybody, if they think very good, if if they're very good in critical thinking, they're going to get to the logic. All that matters is how you're able to present your code, how you're able to make the interviewer align with your approach, right? So let's just go ahead. Merge case sorted. And what do we have? We have vector of vector integer, and we call it array. Then we have what being given to us? We have, do we have anything else that is being given to us? No. Okay. So what next? I want to return vector of integer, and I'm going to call it answer. You can name it anything, output, temp, anything. Okay. Then I need a min heap. So since now min heap, I'm adding comments using another pen so you don't get confused with the code. How do I write min heap? What is the syntax for min heap? It goes by priority queue int vector of int greater int, just a comparator, because priority queue is basically your max heap. So I use in comparator to make it a min heap. Makes sense? Now here, what do I want? Let's see. Can I just go in, if I go in with the elements here? So I saw it that, okay, this element I'm pushing, this element I'm popping off, I'll use this element. But how do I know? I have to pass in the array number, right? So, okay, you tell me first is array, first is your element, second you said is the array number. Is this enough? No. How would you know which index to take in? You have to also pass the index. I know, okay, I have to take an element from array 2, but what if I take again 2? Or what if I'm on 6 and then I take in 4? Who is keeping account of it? So that is index. Whenever I'm popping off an index, I have to see if index plus 1 is a valid entry, or if it is falling out of size for array number, right? So this is what I need. What I need element, I need array number, and I need index. Hope this makes sense. How will I write this? I want a pair of int. I want a pair int int. And then this, right? So please take one suggestion from me. If you're writing this, if you're coding this up on your, on your desktops, on your laptops, anywhere, write this first and write this. After you've written this, just click on this, it will get highlighted, and copy this and paste it out here, paste it out here, and paste it out here. This way, you're not going to mess with the angular brackets. Else there is, there are 80% chances that you're going to mess up with your angular braces. So let's continue writing the code. Priority queue. Now we have to write this pair int pair int comma int, right? Vector pair int comma pair int comma int, greater pair int comma pair int, 3 for these, 1 2 3 1 2 3, and then 1 for this main one, right? And then you name this min heap. First, what will I do? I will move across all the given arrays. I know there are k arrays. Now k is not given to me. I will move across array dot size. If k is given to you, well and good, you just use k. If it is not given to you, then use array dot size. Okay, please see it's not divide, it's different two entities. Either you can use this or this, depends on the question statement, whatever you've been given. This too will always be there, but if you've been given, just use K. I is 0, I less than array dot size, and I plus plus. What you have to do, if your array, that this is when I told you to be cautious of, if your array I is not empty, so you have to push min heap dot push. What do you push? You push array I 0, I comma 0 into your min heap. Make sense? Right. So you have all your first elements in the min heap for now. And what do we do next? We check. While, one second. Yeah. While my min heap is not empty means I have elements that have to be processed inside the heap. What do? I take in my element, that is int. Int element is what? Min heap dot top dot first. Right? What is my I? I is my array number. Min heap dot top dot second dot first. Make sense? Then I have my j. What is j? J is min heap dot top dot second dot second. And what is this? This is basically my index. Then after I have all this, I can just pop out the element min heap dot pop. Inside answer, what am I going to push back? I am going to push back my element inside this element inside the answer. And if my j plus 1 is what? After j element has been popped, what is the next element? J plus 1, indexed element of what array? Of array I. If j plus 1 is less than array dot size, that means this element is valid. What will you do? You will push into min heap. So what are you going to min heap dot push? What are you going to push? Array I, j plus 1th element, and then you have I, you have j plus 1. Makes sense? And then you're going to close this. And then what are you going to return? You're going to return your vector answer. Make sense? Makes sense, right? Now let's talk about time complexity. I do forget telling you time complexity in many videos, and I know many of you have posted these reviews in the Google Forms. I'm going to be very cautious about this from the next time. So yeah, let's talk about the time complexity. It goes by n log k. K is something already given. K sorted arrays. N is your total elements, right? If let's say first array has 2 elements, second has 3 elements, third has again 3 elements, you're going to have n as 8. That is your sum of all the array elements, number of all the array elements. Let's talk about the space complexity. You know, right? Why is LogK? LogK is for entering into the heap. What is your space complexity? Space complexity goes by O of K. O of N also, but again, it is again a point where you can have a discussion with your interviewer, discussion with your examiner by writing into the exam paper this, that you're taking ON, but this is the size of the output array. What about OK? I mentioned, right, in a heap, I'm going to have at most k elements. Why? Because for an array, if its first element already exists, I'm never going to push the second element into it, right? So if I have k arrays, at most, I can have only k elements in my heap, right? So that is what, okay, this is for min heap. Make sense? Yeah. If you have any comments, please make sure that you're making use of, if you have any concerns, if you have any, doubts, anything, please make sure you're making use of the comment section. Or you can also use GForms link that has been given to you. If you want me to take up any subject, if you want me to take up any question, the question does not necessarily have to be from heaps. I'll take up the question if you give it from any data structures else, I'll try my best to make that on the weekend so that you have its explanation as soon as possible. And then, yeah, if you were able to understand, if you were able to take something from the video, please go like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye bye.